My husband had a babysitter watching our kids without telling me. I'm so mad. I'm 35 my husband is 37 meters. We have 2 kids, 6 and 8. I leave for work at 7 o'clock to be there at 7:30. When I leave my kids' lunches, backpacks are all packed. My husband needs to wake them up by 7:20-ish. Give them breakfast. Make sure they're dressed and get them on the bus, which comes anywhere from 208 to 30. My husband then leaves for work to be there at 9. Yesterday my son came home dressed up really cute. Hair styled and gelled back. Wearing a really coordinated outfit. I made a comment, "Wow. Daddy dressed you up really nicely today." And my son replied, "No. It was Daddy's helper, Ashley." I asked him who was Ashley and he said a girl who comes to take care of us sometimes after Daddy leaves. I obviously confronted my husband about this. He said that after the first day of school, our son's bus was late and it made him late for work. He decided he needed help with the kids in the morning, so he hired Ashley, 27. She lives near us. I asked him why he wouldn't consult me about this first. And he said he did mention it to me once, and I said that instead of hiring a babysitter on the days the bus was going to be late. After that day the schools began calling us to let us know when the buses would be more than 5 minutes late. Then either my sister or mother would come to the house, since they live nearby. I told him that that was the plan that would make the most sense. Why would we bother paying a sitter when my family could watch the kids? He said that he wanted help in the mornings with a sitter. He was able to leave for work earlier. He could get breakfast or coffee, which he pointed out I had the chance to do, since I leave half an hour before work, when my work is about 15 minutes away. He's so fixed on why he needed the babysitter that he doesn't understand that the biggest reason why I'm upset is because he was having someone come into our house without telling me, leaving them alone with my kids. He says that since I've met Ashley a handful of times he knew I liked her, so I guess he assumed that was the same as me trusting her with our kids. I also don't like that he coached our sons to not talk to me about Ashley. I feel so weird that someone was in my house when I wasn't aware of it. But my husband just thinks I'm mad because he got a babysitter and doesn't know why I can't just get over it. I looked through his texts to her. I didn't see anything suspicious, but it's very obvious that over half of the messages to and from have been deleted. He says that yes, there are messages deleted, but apparently it's because his phone automatically deletes them when he's low on storage, especially if they're GIFs or pictures. This is all really strange. Both you and your husband should have agreed on a babysitter. Both of you are parents and you both get a say. Add on to that he asked you kids not to mention Ashley, and it's even more not okay. If he needed extra help he should have said something again. If he didn't want to call you mother or sister, then he should have said something. Even if he didn't want to discuss it and just make the plan himself, he should have said something after the fact. I think you need to explain to him in depth that it is not just about having a babysitter and more about the omissions, the deceit, having a stranger in your house, and the coaching of your children to keep quiet. I always hate to sound paranoid, but you may want to keep an eye out. Maybe put some nanny cams in your home. That way you can also see how Ashley interacts with the kids, how often the bus is late, how much Ashley is actually required, and when your husband leaves for work. So he is trying to rationalize his way out of being a bold-faced liar. His plan can make more sense than yours. You could have met Ashley and loved her, but he knows full well that he kept this from you on purpose, and that is a problem. He suggested a sitter. You suggested calling your mom, sister if the bus was late. Also, being a parent means sometimes you are late. Sometimes you miss work. That's life. If the bus is often late, then sure, you need another solution. But one time doesn't mean your husband can't get the kids off to school anymore. And he also had your kids lie to you. Which is the worst thing ever. He is teaching them to keep things from you. Which is a huge breach of trust between you but also undermines your relationship with your children. And I don't mean to be dramatic. But when a kid is taught to lie to their parent, it absolutely makes it easier for other adults to convince your kids to keep things we know those very bad things from you as well. What happens if he left work and something happened? Does Ashley have your phone number if one of the kids fell? What if your husband didn't pick up his phone? Could she even get in touch with you? What happened if Ashley hurt herself? Would the kids call you or be too scared to call you because daddy said don't tell? This is bad. Your husband can talk about how this is a great solution all he wants. But the reality is he lied to you, spent money without talking to you, shirked his parenting responsibilities without talking to you, gave a stranger access to your home and children without talking to you, and actively had his children lie to you. And all because he wanted to get coffee on his way to work. Make a big deal out of this. Teaching the kids to lie to you. Sketchy AF. Well, keep us updated please. This is Seuss. So on one hand, his plan makes sense. It's just that everything else doesn't. Let me tell you, phones do not randomly choose which things to delete. You choose a deletion date and it deletes anything older than that. For example, my phone deleted any texts older than a year. So that alone is highly suspicious. It sounds like there's been something sketchy going on and he's hid the evidence. He's also taught your son to lie to you about the presence of another woman and failed to tell you. He hired a babysitter. How has he, allegedly, been paying her? You notice anything different with money, bank accounts? I suspect he's having an affair with her. But maybe I'm cynical and he's just a truly awful communicator. So he found someone to watch and get the kids for at most an hour and a half daily? It's not worth the time or money. I'd be looking into his and Ashley's relationship. Why are they even sending gifts and pictures in the first place? All of it does not sound like a normal babysitter-parent relationship. The secrecy, her coming over for an hour-ish, deleted texts, kids told to lie, dodgy. Your husband has been lying to you. Lying by omission is still lying. Your husband coached your kids into lying to you. Your husband had some other young woman in your house without your knowledge taking care of your children. He has also apparently been texting her God knows what, and since he deleted the texts you won't ever know what he was actually saying to her. Now that you do know, instead of owning up to it and apologizing, which is the only appropriate reaction, he's trying to gaslight you about your reaction to this egregious behavior. Your marriage has a lot more problems than the two of you are acknowledging. This is truly unacceptable behavior on his part. I would suggest counseling ASAP because this is not healthy. He taught your son to keep a secret about another woman showing up to your house in the morning after you leave. And this other woman never mentioned this to you before? Like she knows you, lives near you, and kept this lie. Again, he taught your son to keep the other women a secret. If OP's mom and sister live close and would be available last minute, why didn't he ask one of them to come over every day for 30 minutes so he could grab a coffee on the way to work? Ah yes, the automatic text deleting feature. That's definitely a real thing, and not at all a lame excuse. I wonder if you'd find a ton of deleted messages in, say, his conversations with parents or something. Or would they be mysteriously contained to the new babysitter? Frankly, I just thought he was an asshole until the message deleting thing. So it's either a troll crafted to let the commenters solve a mystery that you see on here sometimes, or he's shifty as all hell. Yo, I'm sorry. Why are so many of the comments here acting like this was okay? Op did not know who her kids were with. What if one day her kids just disappeared for the day? My kids are fine. I know my husband dropped them off at the bus. They'll be home any minute now. It is not okay to hire help. Bring them into your home and leave your children with them completely unattended without telling your husband, wife about it first and absolutely 100% making sure you're both okay with it. Highly negligent, dangerous, and downright disrespectful. She's met Ashley a handful of times, and he specifically had your kids not tell you about it? What? Are you sure your husband isn't seeing Ashley for something else? That just makes no sense. Yeah, I would be placing a camera in my house to watch their interactions or if they do stuff after the kids leave. It's strange that he deleted messages, because his phone automatically deletes them when he's low on storage, especially if they're GIFs or pictures. You don't actually believe that, do you? I suggest you go to work one day, then come back. See how they act when you show up at a time they think you wouldn't be home. Smells like infidelity. Sorry, Op. What was his response when you said your sister or mom could watch the kids? They would do the exact same thing that Ashley does and allow him the same luxuries he's looking for. Also, a 27-year-old local babysitter who is not doing anything in the morning. WTF? Who is this person? Why is someone nearing 30 doing this? I genuinely don't want to jump to conclusions, but if I found out that my husband had been secretly, repeatedly, having a young woman in the house and was pretending it was not a big deal, I would probably find it hard to be confident there was nothing going on between them. If you're at all worried about that, I would suggest asking your husband for more details, maybe asking exactly how this arrangement started, and how much and how often he had paid her, and then immediately talking to Ashley and asking her the same questions to check whether it lined up. Or maybe talking to Ashley first would make more sense. But the point is to not give them a chance to confer. Oh, he's not railing her yet, he certainly wants to be. Take him for everything he's got, including the babysitter. Have you looked through his other text threads to see if GIFs and photos were also removed during his phone purge? That would confirm or deny his response about their text thread. If this were my situation, I'd be incredibly suspicious and doubt everything he said. It's very odd that he didn't say anything to you about the babysitter, and I'd be beyond livid that he instructed the kids to lie about her. I would set up a hidden nanny camera or two. Also pull phone records to see how many deleted messages there were.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.